Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack, and tonight we are reviewing even a very good SmackDown Live. Solid SmackDown Live. Nothing really wrong with it, in my opinion. There was a couple bit of iffy bits, but all in all, pretty damn good show. 2 weeks in a row now, SmackDown have pulled off a pretty damn good show, and it's weird to think that the same company produce Raw and SmackDown. It's doesn't quite work up in my head how that works out. But let's crack on with SmackDown Live, shall we? We kicked off tonight with a contract signing. Ooh, contract signings. We all know how they go down between Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Charlotte for Becky Lynch's SmackDown Women's title at TLC in a TLC match. It was a pretty good segment, to be fair. All the women pulled their weight in it. Or promo-wise, it kind of turned into like a dick measuring contest kind of thing. Like, I've beaten you, you've never beaten me, but I've beaten you. But, you know, it's kind of, that's the only thing that let it down. But every woman, Charlotte, Asuka, and Becky, Becky, of course, she's just gold on the microphone. Charlotte's, I think the jury's still out there whether she can put up a good promo, but in my opinion, it was a pretty decent promo for her this week. And Asuka, you know, English isn't her first language, but she still got the point across over on the mic, so good. Good, that's all you can ask for, really. No one went for a table, which was a miraculous thing. Basically, they were, like I said, all dick measuring, saying Asuka said and Becky, you've never beaten me. Charlotte saying to Asuka, I broke your streak and all that. Becky saying to Charlotte, I beat you. All that crap. And Becky signed the contract and then just walked off. And Charlotte tried to bait her back in, like, oh yeah, Becky's all talk now and whatnot. And Charlotte then signed the contract. And Asuka signed the contract. And then Asuka said to Charlotte, why don't I break you now? Why don't I beat you up now? And threw down the gauntlet for Charlotte. Paige was there trying to break everything up, and not before long, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville came out and said to Paige, look, Paige, is this what you really want your SmackDown's main event to be? These two bickering, these two arguing. Me or Sonya deserve to be in this title match. Those two got lucky. Sonya getting on the mic and saying, Asuka, you only beat me in that Battle Royale by total fluke. I was the best performer in that Battle Royale. It should be me in the TLC match. She was pretty good in the Battle Royale, to be fair. The crowd really ruined this segment. Constant what chants. We'll get onto that later on in the night. Constant what chants for Sonya and Mandy, which, if you do it, you're a bit of an idiot, but you can't help it sometimes. But Paige set up a tag team match. Up next, Teddy Long, the tag team match player, Charlotte and Asuka versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. But before that, we had a weird little segment again between Miz and Shane McMahon. Miz once again saying that they're partners and whatnot. You know, these 2/3 of the best in the world and whatnot. Shane's like, no, we're not tag partners, Miz. But you are hosting Daniel Bryan on Miz TV tonight. And the Miz was like, why the hell am I doing that? And Shane's like, we want answers from Daniel Bryan. He's the hottest thing on SmackDown at the moment. We need answers from him. So that's all fair enough. And then that ended, and we jumped straight into the tag team match. And it was a pretty solid match, to be fair. That's all I can say about it, really. It was a pretty solid match. There wasn't really any outstanding points from it. At one point, Charlotte did her thing where she jumps over the top rope onto both Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, taunted Asuka with, you know, styling and profiling and all that, and Becky Lynch calmly walked down the ramp with the title in hand, mocking them both, and then went and sat next to commentary, not on commentary. And then the match just flowed before Charlotte accidentally, I think she pushed or kicked, I can't remember, she accidentally did that to Asuka, and Sonya Deville tried to roll her up, but Charlotte managed to reverse it into her own roll up, and on the count of 2, Asuka drop kicks right in the face of Charlotte, and by this, Sonya rolls Charlotte back up, for the win. So Asuka not only costing the team, her and Charlotte, the victory there, but Sonya Deville picks up a pinfall over Charlotte Flair, which is what she deserves, if I'm honest. I've been a very big fan of Sonya Deville ever since she's come onto the main roster, really. She ever since she was with Paige and Absolution, alongside Mandy Rose. I just kind of liked her MMA style. I know MMA style is a bit common nowadays in WWE, but you know, I see there was something about her that I quite liked, and I'm happy now that she's getting pinfalls over the likes of Charlotte Flair, and she's getting to the final two of Battle Royales of Asuka and stuff like that. So hopefully she can kick on and get herself into the main event picture of SmackDown Live. Will she ever be a champion? I hope so. That's all I can say. But yeah, Sonya Deville pinning Charlotte Flair in that match. And next up we had a triple threat match. Obviously, earlier on in the week, it was announced that the SmackDown tag titles will be defended in a triple threat with The Bar, the champions, versus The New Day versus the Usos, as the Usos and New Day have beaten The Bar in recent weeks. And we had a triple threat match between Xavier Woods, Jey Uso, and Cesaro in this match. So instantly you think, yeah, it's going to be a pretty good match. Early on, Xavier Woods and Jey Uso formed a little partnership, because obviously they've got that respect for each other. Against Cesaro, they got Cesaro out the ring, and they did this quite nifty sequence where they weren't hitting each other really. They were just dodging everything and doing false finish after false finish. It's like counter ones and all that. And then afterwards they respected each other with a little hand slap before Cesaro jumped back into the ring, and they both went for Cesaro again and chucked him back over onto the top rope. So I quite like that. But Cesaro did this thing where, kind of like what Tyler Bate does as well, where he had a man on his shoulders and then he had Jey Uso swinging. The man's just not human. Just not human. But I didn't quite catch the end of the match because I think I went to toilet, and I regret going to toilet. I was going to watch it back, but the Usos, Jey Uso picking up the win, pinning Cesaro. So 3 or 4 weeks in a row now. 4 weeks, I think. So a whole month of The Bar being on the losing side, which is quite mad when they're champions. But is it harming them? Yes, slightly, I guess, because you know they keep on losing. But don't know. We'll have to wait and see, because all it matters is if they pick up the win at TLC, all this will be forgotten. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. The Usos have obviously got the momentum in this now. And next week, I think we're having a rap battle again against The Bar and the Usos, with the New Day hosting it. They'll probably get Wale in again or something. Yeah, the last one was quite good with the New Day and the Usos. So hopefully, this is just as good. But next up, we had a Rusev promo. Rusev getting some TV time, doing a promo, and it was the best thing ever. It was a Rusev promo. It's the best thing ever. Basically, he was saying how Nakamura's pissed him off, basically, and he's holding on to that US title like a baby would hold on to a toy, and he wants his United States title back. So fingers crossed we get that. It's probably gone on the pre-show, unfortunately, but fingers crossed we get Russo, not Vince Russo, hopefully not. We get Rusev versus Nakamura at TLC, and hopefully Rusev can get the title off him, because obviously Nakamura's contract's up in January. So fingers crossed Rusev wins the title, and he can get some more TV time, hopefully. Shinsuke wasn't on this week again, so I think it's quite clear that he's going. But next up, we had this Miz TV promo with Daniel Bryan, of course. But before Miz could even say anything, R-Truth and Carmella came out. Obviously, they're still continuing that thing where they had Truth TV. And all they did was said they dance break. They did a dance break, and then R-Truth just said, thank you, and they jogged on again. Good, fair play. Get it in there somewhere. But yeah, Miz called out Daniel Bryan, and basically the Miz was saying, so I was right about you all along. Like, you always said you didn't need to cheat to win. You then cheated and you won. So was I right? And Daniel Bryan, going back onto the what chants, what I said earlier, Daniel Bryan ran the crowd down, calling them fickle, calling them sheeps, because they just kept on saying what. And after this, the crowd just shut up. It was incredible stuff. Major face turn from Daniel Bryan there, shutting down some what chants, and fair play to him. Fair play to him. And but then he turned all vegan. Like he's obviously a vegan, and he was saying that all he did was kick one man in the groin one time, but all these people eat their meat, drink water from plastic bottles, harm the environment, harm the future generations, and all that. And it's like, he's going all tree hugger on us, and it was really good. And it was just like, okay. His new thing is he's a really calmly spoken man, but when he talks about the environment, he full on shouts at people, and there's something about that that I quite enjoy, if I'm honest. But before long, AJ Styles' music hits, and he just, on a mission, comes down to the ring, jumps in the ring. Daniel Bryan he throws the Miz into AJ, and they brawl for a bit, and then AJ goes to chase down Daniel Bryan, get back in the ring, and the Miz helps out Daniel Bryan with a skull-crushing finale on AJ Styles. That sets up the main event of the evening, AJ Styles versus the Miz. But the Miz is helping Daniel Bryan, so where are we going for that? We thought the Miz was turning babyface. So where's this all going to lead? Not sure. Tag team champions, maybe? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the Miz skull-crushing finale on AJ to finish that segment. And next up, we had Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton once again. I'm just going to read my notes word for word here. Didn't really need to see this match again. We didn't. Hell in the Cell was a perfect send-off, but I think we've seen it now. What's this, the second time after Hell in the Cell? And we don't need to see it again. But it's a solid match either way. They always put on a bit of a performance. The finish of the match was Jeff Hardy plants Randy Orton onto the announce table and goes to the top rope, looking for a swanton bomb, I assume, or a leg drop from the top rope onto the announce table. But he is distracted by Samoa Joe, who comes on the Titantron, and he's working behind a bar. He's in a bar. He's been a barkeep for the day, and saying, "You're having a cracking match, Jeff. You carry on. You do your thing." But this gave Randy Orton enough time to jump in the ring, RKO. Jeff picks up the L. And then Samoa Joe comes back on the Titantron, and he reels off like a drink responsible ad, and it was quite good. Like, I didn't know how I feel about, I never know how I feel about real life things coming into wrestling, because I always feel like it should be kept kind of separate. Like, wrestling's supposed to be quite fun, but serious stuff does have its place. But Samoa, if there was a man to mock, I guess you could say, a man for his drinking habits, Samoa Joe would do that really well, and he did. Go and watch the promo, because it was quite good, it was quite funny, and Jeff Hardy didn't look too pleased. But yeah, if there's one thing I would say you had to watch, would it be this? Yeah, it'd be this promo, because it's Samoa Joe. It's amazing anyway. And the Rusev Day promo. Watch that. But that was it for SmackDown. We had the main event now. It seems like not much happened, but it was a well-worked 2 hours, and it was really good. How is this company producing Raw as well? I just don't understand. But it was The Miz versus AJ Styles on the main event of the evening. And Daniel Bryan was on commentary once again. He went absolutely mental on Byron Saxton about the environment and him eating meat. It was quite kind of distracting from the match. Like, the match was really solid, but Daniel Bryan was absolutely killing it on commentary, and it was really distracting, which is a good and a bad thing in a way. But the finish of the match was Daniel Bryan kept on getting involved to try and distract AJ Styles. It wasn't enough. AJ Styles managed to get The Miz into a calf crusher, proper wrenched in, and The Miz tapped out quite quickly. But during AJ Styles' celebration, of course, Daniel Bryan jumps in the ring and starts targeting AJ Styles' legs, pummeling it around the ring posts, putting his knee lock on. I think it's a knee lock. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a knee lock. Putting the knee lock in. He put that in a couple of times. Wrestler's trying to get him off. He then storms out the ring, gets his title, tells, is it Greg Hamilton, the ring announcer, to say, like, here's the WWE champion, the new Daniel Bryan. He then jumps on the announce table with a microphone and basically said, are you not entertained? In kind of, not those words, but you got the point. Calling the fans fickle, saying, you don't cheer me, fickle. You don't get the love, fickle, and all that. This was Daniel Bryan's show. He was on top of his game, tonight, which is great to see. It's so good to see now that, like, I'm fully invested in Daniel Bryan again, and if a heel turn meant that, I'm more than happy with it. Daniel Bryan jumps off the announce table back into the ring, another chop block to AJ Styles, another knee lock, and then he runs around the ring, and I believe, does he kick him in the head and then walks off, and that's the end of the show. Like I said, it was pretty much Tuesday night Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan just brought his A game tonight, and it was fantastic. And that was SmackDown. Like I said, not much happening. I felt like there was more, but there wasn't. And like I said, it was a really, really good show. Definitely worth a watch if you don't watch SmackDown. I would say go watch this one. If you didn't catch last week's, definitely catch this one because it was decent. And I managed to do this one in one take this time, other than yesterday. So thank God for that. If you like this review, I've forgotten how to do an outro, so I can tell you that much. Shout out to our partners, again, our sponsors, Power Slam TV. Go onto their website and you can get a 3 months of subscription if you use the code BADBOOKERS, all one word, all in capitals. Go over there. Please like the video, subscribe. That means a hell of a lot to the channel. It means a hell of a lot to me. It means a hell of a lot to the other guys as well. And I shall see you again next Monday, because it's TLC week next week, and I never thought I'd be excited for a TLC, a gimmick pay-per-view, but SmackDown are killing it at the moment, and they're the only reason why I'm excited. But yeah, subscribe, and I shall see you again very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching.